Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. The Alliance Chieftain has been in game for some years now, and it's come into focus because it's going to be one of the first ships available for ARX on the Frontier store. The Alliance Chieftain AX Combat Jumpstart ship will be available for people to pay with ARX. And of course you get ARX by doing things in game, but let's face it, you're going to have to pay with some cold hard cash, probably to get enough ARX to purchase this. The whole idea of these Jumpstart ships is to give new players a leg up. Perhaps subvert some of the grind on engineering, so you can get involved, like in this case, on the Thargoid War. But what are these ship kit bundles, which we know, because Frontier have released what these bundles are going to be, and what they entail, what are they actually going to be like in the real world? Well, I thought, before it gets released, I would build it according to what Frontier have said, and review it. And that's what we're going to do. Strap in. It's an Alliance Chieftain Ricardo review. Okay then everyone, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the Alliance Chieftain AX Combat Jumpstart ship, and we're going to fit it out exactly how Frontier have it done on the ARX store. To see if it's any good, review it in the real world. So it's going to start off with, I'm at Shinrata, so I do get a little bit of a discount there as well. But you're looking circa 18 million credits for this. So we're going to confirm and have that. We're going to purchase that ship, and we've got it. Woo! In all its glory. Let's take a quick nose outside, and here it is, all nice, shiny and white. Oh, look at that. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Ooh, that nice, new, fresh ship smell. The Alliance Chieftain. What do I like about it? I like these pods on the side. And the fact that they move when the landing gear comes down. I like the fact that it looks a little bit like a bird. I don't want to say eagle, because there's a ship called an eagle. This could quite easily have been called a kestrel, in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? But it's called an Alliance Chieftain, and that's fine by me. Right, so straight off the bat, we're going to get ourselves into the hard points. Now, on this particular ship, there's a bit of a mishmash of hard points, to be perfectly honest with you. As you know, the Alliance Chieftain comes fitted and kitted up with pulse lasers. No use to man nor the beast. This is a ship that was specifically built, they say, for the Thargoid War. So, what do we have? Well, there are two 3C gimbaled enhanced AX multi-cannons. Now, do I have those? Let's have a look through here. We've got 2s, 3C standard. There's a... Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Gimbaled enhanced multi-cannons. We'll have to go and get some of those, won't we? There you go. There it is. There's one there. So we'll buy that one. Pop it in the top slot. And then, do you know what? We're going to go and buy another one. Let's go all the way down here. 3C for the gimbal. There it is. Buy and equip. 2 million, nearly 3 million a piece. Now, in the 2 hard point here, they have got, and this is quite interesting, a Guardian nanite torpedo pylon. And this is all the rage, simply because, and I'll tell you why it's all the rage, because that's what you shoot the Titan in its vents. Right, so there it is. There is the Guardian nanite torpedo pylon 2. Boom. Thanks very much. We'll have that. 700 grand. Now in the small hard point, bit weird this. They've gone for a gimbaled beam laser, which is great, but they've got no engineering on it, right? You know, because that would be a thing. Normally you'd have long-range thermal vent on this to counteract any heat you'd have with the ship. Not this time. Oh no. What they have done, however, is right here is, and I'll see if I've got some, they've gone for Gauss cannons. 2 small Gauss cannons, but with the anti-Guardian resistance. Now, the anti-Guardian resistance you get from Ram Tar down in Meen, and there's some items you need. In particular, you need Thargoids tactical chips, amongst other things as well. So, there's a Gauss cannon there. So, we'll buy and equip that. And we'll put another one in there. Gauss cannon. Boom. Buy and equip. Now, obviously, I haven't got the Ram Tar stuff on it, and that's going to cost me some tactical chips. And to be fair, I've used it all up. So what do we think of so far? Well, the enhanced AX multis, they're okay. They lay down quite a bit of damage. You could go for the other ones, the engineered ones, that have got auto loader on them as well, which have got a quicker fire rate but slightly less damage. But to be fair, I think these are perfectly fine. The Guardian nanite torpedo, I think, as well, is perfectly fine. The beam laser, a bit of a mystery this. Yes, you've got to have one, but they haven't included any engineering on this for your money. Instead, they've gone for the Guardian Gauss cannons. Strange old choice of this, really, with the Gauss cannons. And of course, it would have that Ram Tar engineering on it. Well, okay, good for them. So that was the hard points, right? So let's go into the utility mounts. So straight off the bat, a heatsink launcher. Well, it just so happens there's a heatsink launcher right there. And you know what? We're going to plonk it in. Buy and equip. Good for pressing the old V key. That's what I got it bound to anyway. Not having it bound to anything. And getting all the heat from the ship sucked into that heatsink launcher and out, making yourself nice and frosty like Jack Frost's Frosty Bits. Next up, what have they got in there? Well, they've got a caustic sink launcher. Now, have I got any of those knocking about? I have, but it'll take a while for them to come round. But, you know, hey, what we'll do, we'll transfer that from storage and we'll pop it in, no dramas at all. Next up is an enhanced Xeno scanner. Right, okay, then an enhanced Xeno scanner. There you are, we've got one right there. Brilliant. The enhanced Xeno scanner. How is that better than the existing Xeno scanner? Well, the existing Xeno scanner has a scanner range of 500 meters. This has one of 2,000 meters. And of course, because it's enhanced, you've got slightly more of a power draw going on there as well. But that's the only difference. So you don't have to get so close to scan a Thargoid's private parts. So we'll pop one of those in. No problem. And because I'm waiting for my caustic sink, the last thing I'm going to be popping in here now is the Thargoid Pulse Wave Neutralizer. That's right, everybody, the Thargoid Pulse Wave Neutralizer. This will protect you when flying into the Maelstrom from that huge torus pulse that it fires off that knocks you utterly sideways and into all the mines and what have you. Also can be used to counteract the Thargoid shutdown pulse technology anyway. So as we can see, the shutdown field neutralizer has a range of 3,000 meters. This one has a range of 0 meters. Strange, isn't it? Like the power draw we've got there, and the charge time is slightly more. Cooldown 10 seconds. So I think it's horses for courses here, but we're going to pop that in because that's what they've said they wanted. No dramas. Core internal. Right, well, we've got a bit of work to do here on the core internals. Straight off, they want to upgrade the hull, right? So we've got a lightweight alloy hull that comes with all ships in Elite Dangerous. They want military. So there you go, military grade composite. Thank you very much. We'll have some of that. 1A, thank you. Buy and equip. I should be selling these modules, really. That's good for us. Next up, they've gone for a 6A power plant. No dramas there. So we've got a 6A power plant. Have I got a 6A? Well, I have a 6A power plant here, obviously, right? And it's overcharged, which I don't need because heat is obviously going to be a problem here. They've got no engineering on this 6A power plant, which is, you know, a bit of a shame. Especially because you're paying real world dollars for this. But that's okay, because we're going to go down here and we're going to buy exactly what they say we're going to buy. As it stands, this is a jumpstart ship. This is a jumping off point. This is, let's not start from zero. You can always do engineering for this. What they have done, however, is in the thrusters slot, they have done a little bit of engineering here. They've got a 6A thrusters, dirty drag drives, right? So that's okay. We're going to replace that module, what we got there. Do you know what? We're going to sell that. Where are we? 6A thrusters. Have I got any thrusters knocking about? No, they're all on ships. Right, so 6A thrusters. Where is it? There it is. Boom. Buy and equip. And we'll do some engineering on that anyway. The frame shift drive. Well, of course, they've gone for a 5A. That's no dramas. We'll replace that. 5A frame shift drive. Would have been interested if they would have put one of these on there instead. Do you know what I mean? The supercharge, overcharge, super drive, super cruise overcharge. What am I saying? My God, it's not even that late. I haven't been drinking either. So we'll pop a 5A in. Life support, they've gone nice and simple, a 5D. So that will give us the additional bonus of it being lighter than the E. We're gaining, like, you know, 0.32 light years from that little bit of weight saving. Power distributor, well, they've gone for a 6A, and no problem, we can certainly accommodate that with a 6A power distributor. Where is it? Right there. Bung it on. Sensors, well, they've gone for 4D here. That's a bone of contention, really, because to be fair, I would perhaps go for a 4A and then put long range on those, especially if you're attacking Titans. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But we're going to go with what they say, which is going to be the 4D. Here we go. Buy and equip. And, of course, there's a fuel tank. So we're on 18.50 light years. No dramas. So what's going to go in the optional internals? Well, optional internals, here we go. So they're going to put in, straight off the bat, that's coming out. Right, we're going to say, we're going to sell that. We're going to sell that. And we're going to sell that. A little bit easier. They want buy weaves in here. Good choice, I think, with the buy weaves. Lower power, so into shield generators. 6. My prismatics. They want a 6C. Bi-weave shield generator. 2 million, 2.3 million for that one. There's a bit of a boost there. Look, you can see on the power it's going to request. It's going to have 6A, 22.67. Yeah, we're going to buy weaves. Boom, those shields are coming up nice and quick. In the Class 5, they've gone for a 5D hull reinforcement package. So we'll pop down here, hull reinforcements, Class 5, right the way down here, 5D. Buy and equip. What's next? Now they've popped a bit of a cargo rack in here, and a standard cargo rack. Not even an anti-corrosion cargo rack. Just a standard rack, 16. Which is great, just for hauling around your limpets. But, like, if you want to pick up anything a bit fruity from the Thargoid sites, that's going to corrode you left, right and centre. Here's the problem, okay? But, you know, these are the things we're picking out when we're going through this ship review. Anyway, they've said a standard. I would have put an anti-corrosion cargo rack in there, but that's because I've been playing a long time, so we're gonna have one of those. Right, next up. Well, what's interesting here, what's very interesting, they haven't done anything in regards to the military compartments, right? I mean, come on, you've got 3 Class 4 military compartments, ideally hull and perhaps a module in there to help you out. But instead, oh no, you know, they've popped a 5D up there, whereas perhaps you could take that out and put something a bit more tasty in there. I don't know what. Perhaps if you like running shields, you could put a shield cell booster in there, for example. You could put another, say, a collector limpet controller in there, or a decontamination limpet controller, or a multi-limpet controller for Anti-Xeno. I mean, let's face it, this is an AX combat ship. Anyway, this is what they've done. They've left all that blank. Good for them. So in the Class 2 there, they have gone and they've popped in an AFM. So what have they got in there? A 2A AFM. Good for them. 1.2 million. I'm going to pop that in. Buy and equip. And then Super Cruise Assist. Obviously, they've ripped that out. I mean, come on. I mean, you've seen my video on it. What are we doing? We've got the Planetary Approach Suite in there. There's no scanner again, right? Research Limpet Controller. Research Limpet Controller. There it is, Research Limpet. We'll have one of those. Well, there's only a 1E there, so we're going to have a 1E. Buy and equip. Thank you very much. And in the Class 2 here, right, they're going to put a Repair Limpet Controller in there as well, right? So, and they've gone for a 1A Limpet Controller. Of course, there's no Class 2. So there's the Repair Limpets, 1A. There you go. I've got one there I could bring in, but you know what? Let's pop it in there. We don't care. So straight off the bat, problems here. You're not being the best you can possibly be. But then, if we did put something in there, that would eat into that down to, I'd say, about, I don't know, 16 light years. So you're talking multiple jumps there. If it was me, I'd rip that out. Put in hull reinforcement, module reinforcement there. And kind of away you go. That's what I would do, to be fair. That's what I do. It's not that good. I think there's going to be a heat problem here, but we'll cover that a little bit later. So here I am in Mean with the Ramtar. Yes, him who loves the Guardian stuff and has been working on a process of protecting Guardian weapons from, well, let's face it, the Thargoid effect. So anyway, I did, for completeness, and went and applied the Guardian effect to the weapons I've got on the ship. So yes, here I am at Ramtar's Phoenix base in the Mean system. This is where you can apply that Guardian effect, the anti-Thargoid rot my weapons effect for Guardian weapons. And it is done for a few materials. Typically, Guardian weapons, there it is, there's the option. Ramtar does do an awful lot more. There's the Gauss cannons we've got here. Hardened surface fragments, caustic crystals and tactical core chips. Hardened surface fragments, you're going to get those off the broken Titans. And indeed off the Titans, and caustic crystals you can find in the Maelstrom and also off the destroyed Titans. Tactical core chips, well, you're going to get them from the Revenant. You can get them from AX surface site missions where you do the AX reactivations, or you can go to a Spire site, which is probably the best way of doing it, and we did quite a bit of testing on this on a weekend stream, and get those tactical core chips when dropped by a Banshee or by a Revenant when you destroy them. Just sit up there with your cargo hold. They're not going to rot anything. Use your limpets, get them all picked up when the scouts drop off the Revenant. Now, one thing to notice, by applying this, we are going to have a 20% reduction in damage to the particular weapon, the Guardian weapon, that you apply it to, whether it's shards, whether it's Gauss, or whether it's plasmas. Guardian, Gauss, plasmas, or shards. So, you've got to think, is it worthwhile doing? And that's what you've got to think. Is it worthwhile doing? Now, this is a grade 1 modification, as it says. Things to also notice as well, heatsink launchers available from Ramtar as well. You can apply that to heatsink launchers to give it extra ammo, and you can also apply it to caustic sink launchers to give that some extra ammo. This is not what we're talking about here, though, because none of that's been applied to this particular ship, and this is a review of the stock AX Jumpstart Chieftain, as we've mentioned. So now we have our fully kitted out AX Chieftain Jumpstart as per advertised on the Frontier store. We've got it here. One thing I would change, and to be fair, I've just seen a recent video from Commander Mechan, and I do apologise if there's any overlap from this, but I completely concur with what he said. For those Titans that are quite a distance away from the jump-in point, an overcharged frameshift drive, the SCO frameshift drive, is going to be a must. Its decreased jump range, however, could be a bit of a problem, so it's all about placement and your jump out point from whatever fleet carrier or base you're flying from. Although it is going to drastically reduce the time to Titan, the T2T, time to Titan, as you jump into the system. So commanders should really look at that. It can be bought, no problem at all, from any high-tech base for credits, in-game credits. It is going to cost a little bit, and you've got to keep an eye on your fuel, but I think that really would be something. Other than that, as a stock build, that's what we've got. I'm sticking with the conventional frameshift because we want to see the pain it causes by getting to those Titans that are further away, that Titan point, and how long it's going to take us to get to those. Because that's where people are going to use it, and people need to know, warts and all, if this ship is any good. So here I am at the HADAD Titan. I've managed to get in through the caustic wave. I've defeated the pulses, and I've just got in here. I used all my caustic sinks. My caustic sinks are bare. Now, normally I would re-engineer some, but I'm doing this as a new commander. I'm on approach. We're going in. There's HADAD. Well, here we go again then, everybody. I'm very weary of the heat. Here you go. No pips to the engines. My shields are okay. You know, and I'm 29% with this particular build. I'm all ready to go. I've got my nanite torpedo, which I had to repair quite considerably after getting in through the caustic field. I've got my AX multi-cannons, which are the other AX part of the build, ready to go. Here we go. Right, vents are open, we're shooting. And with that, I started getting malfunctions because the AFMU I had, I exhausted an awful lot of the ammunition there as well, repairing systems that I needed. Like, I didn't particularly want to have nanite torpedo problems. Didn't want to have problems with my power distributor either. All these things had kicked me repeatedly. But here I am, and now it's starting to open up because my temperature is at 41%. Yes, I could drop that heatsink, but I'm kind of saving it because I used that because I've been burning off a lot of caustic damage. What would I change on this build? Well, definitely you need an SCO frameshift drive to get there a bit quicker. I got interdicted about 9 times coming in. Didn't get any damage, but my god, it took it as a lengthy process. I would do something about the AFMU. I'd do something about additional armour and module strength and hull strength on this build. I would do something. I wouldn't even have Guardian weapons on it. I'd go complete AX, to be perfectly honest with you. This beam laser, without engineering, is about as much use as a chocolate teapot. Right? Let's just not even talk about that run. I had thruster failures, power distributor failures, you name it, I had failures because the ship could not adequately get in to the maelstrom. Is this a jumping off point? Yes. Is it going to allow people to get involved? Yes. Is it going to allow people to get involved and retain their sanity? Is it going to retain their interest in the game by buying this build? And by that I mean, is it going to basically let you contribute? Slightly. You're going to have to go out, you're going to have to engineer it, and go through all the rest of it. Does it support the play to win? No. Does it support the play to get involved? Vaguely. I think if people are paying real world money for this, and in turn ARCs for this, I would say you need something a little bit more tastier. And I'm surprised, really, at Frontier they haven't gone for like more modules, more hard points, better hard point configuration is what I'm saying. fill up those military slots with hull reinforcement and a module reinforcement. That's going to help you out. Get yourself over to Ramtar or get the Sirius heat sinks and the engineered caustic sinks, if you can, and get them put on this ship. If you can't, Ramtar will do an upgrade, but you're going to need materials and all the rest of it. That'll give you additional ammunition for your heat sinks and also for your caustic sinks. Rip out those Guardian weapons. They do too much heat and it's not conducive to the build. You need a cold ship for this. You're going to need engineering. But it is a jumping off point. That's what it is. God, what am I going to do with this ship? Well, I'll keep it for posterity. What else am I going to do with this ship? I don't know. I'll probably never, ever, ever fly it again. But I may do a video on how I would make it better. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, Commanders. It's been a bit ranty, but hey, that's the way it is, warts and all. Was it any good? No.